Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, another day and another Bill Clinton rape T-shirt protester at a Hillary Clinton rally. It's interesting how Hillary Clinton handled this today. She suggested that people follow the man out of the auditorium there where they were having the event. Follow him out and do an intervention. What does that mean? Do an intervention. I do hope somebody follows that gentleman out and stages an intervention. She wouldn't be inciting violence against him, would she? Well, I don't know. She says, clearly he hasn't been following this election very closely. No, he knows exactly what you're about, Hillary. And later on the program, we have an interview with the man who went to the Tim Kaine rally and trolled Tim Kaine. This man was a Democrat delegate to a convention 20 years ago, and what he saw there with Bill and Hillary Clinton basically was so disillusioning to him as to the way the double standards that Hillary Clinton had. You know, the public face and the private face that she talks about? That private face is pretty nasty. And he saw some pretty nasty assaults from Bill Clinton. So he's going to be coming up later in the program. We're going to have an interview with him. But really, it was Trump last night who really got into Hillary Clinton's face. What he did to her was even more amazing than if he had opened up his shirt and had a Bill Clinton as a rapist. No, he took her down. They came after him time and time again for the emails, for the videotape that was released to cover up for the Protestor emails that came out. The Protestor emails were very substantive on issues. They really defined the Clintons, and it was imperative that they have their Bush connection, put this out and try to take the public's attention off of it. And it was very effective, and they came after him time and again in the debate. And Trump came back and said, well, it was simply locker talk. I'm not proud of it. I'm a person who has great respect for people, for my family, for the people of this country. I'm certainly not proud of it. But if you look at Bill Clinton, far worse. Mine was words, his was action, which is what Juanita Broderick said. He said, Bill Clinton is abusive to women. Hillary Clinton attacked those same women, attacked them viciously. 4 of them here tonight. One of the women, who is a wonderful woman at 12 years old, was raped at 12. And he talks about how Hillary Clinton got her off, talked about how Bill Clinton was impeached. He lost his license to practice law. He had to pay an $850,000 fine to Paula Jones because of sexual assault, not because he had an affair. And oh, by the way, as bad as it was what Donald Trump said, he said he tried to make a move on her and she shut it down. He didn't rape her. See, Bill doesn't take no for an answer. But then he goes on, and this is where he really took over the debate. He had it at this point. They kept coming after him over and over again. He says, when we talk about an apology, I think the one you should really be apologizing for, the thing you should be apologizing for, are the 33,000 emails that you deleted, that you acid washed, and the 2 boxes of emails and other things last week that were taken from an office that are now missing. I tell you what, I didn't think I would say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to put you in jail if I become president, essentially is what he had to say. And then Hillary Clinton's only response, she was really taken back by that. Her only response was to say, I can't fact check that. I can't respond to that. I can't just go to my website and we explain all of this away. All of the emails that we deleted, all the emails that we hid, that we obstructed justice on, all the multiple felonies that I committed, we explain that all away at HillaryClinton.com. And she said, you know, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of our country. And Trump said, because you would be in jail. And that's the way it went the rest of the night. And it was so bad, the CNN and others started talking about how he was lurking over her, how he was intimidating her with her body language. And Kellyanne Conway, campaign manager for Donald Trump, tweeted out, how you know Donald Trump won the debate? 1, you watched it. And number 2, Hillary and the media spin will be about him standing behind her. Yes, the New York Times said this looks like a poster for a 1970s horror movie. That was the Times culture writer Dave Iskos in response to the photo of Trump standing behind Clinton and frowning. Interestingly enough, even CNN walked this back a bit. They had a body language expert on there, and she explained, look, you got this set up in the round, and when Hillary Clinton turns over to the left and starts talking to somebody and Bill Clinton is standing over here, then it looks like he's lurking behind her. I mean, it's simply camera angles. But it was also good, and you can see the body language as he's free to move around, not limited to being sitting in a chair or being behind a podium. But she points out, the body language expert points out, that she thought that Hillary Clinton was trying to intimidate Donald Trump, saying that when she would move in front of him, he would not interrupt her, would not do anything with that. So it was going both ways, but clearly it was Donald Trump who prevailed last night. It was so bad that we see people like former Face the Nation host Bob Schieffer saying the debate was disgraceful. No, it was Bob Schieffer's comments that were disgraceful. Listen to what he had to say, how he spun the issue of the women. They wanted to make this about women. They wanted to throw this bombshell out there to distract people as a red herring away from the Protestor emails that were leaked. So they start talking about a comment that Donald Trump made 10 years ago. He responded by bringing in several of the women that have accused Bill Clinton of rape. But Bob Schieffer supposedly doesn't understand any of this. He says, what are we doing? He said, we're marching in women who are supposed to have some relationship with one of the candidates' spouses. What's that supposed to prove? Well, Bob, in case you weren't paying attention 20 years ago, these were women that Bill Clinton raped, that Hillary Clinton covered up for. They didn't have a consensual relationship. And it shouldn't be any kind of mystic thing to you, Bob. You know perfectly well what's going on with it. And so does Geraldo Rivera, coming out the day after these other tapes saying, I've got some too. I'm going to throw out some tapes to embarrass Donald Trump. Juanita Broderick came after him because of the way that he responded to the accusations against Roger Ailes, defending him initially, and then coming back and apologizing to women and say, well, now that we know more about what was going on, I shouldn't have defended Roger Ailes. Juanita Broderick said, it's a bit too late for that. She said, you said on Fox News that when my name, Juanita Broderick, came up, a victim of Bill Clinton, that it, quote, made you want to throw up in your mouth. That's Geraldo Rivera. See, he doesn't have a problem with Bill Clinton raping Juanita Broderick. As a matter of fact, if you even talk about that, it makes Geraldo Rivera want to puke. But Geraldo Rivera is going to go through his archives and try to find anything he can to embarrass Donald Trump. Let me tell you what this is about. This isn't about even Geraldo Rivera trying to save face with women. Geraldo Rivera hates the idea that we're going to get control of our borders. And somebody else hates that idea too. Mr. Open Borders himself, Paul Ryan. All these phony Republicans like Paul Ryan, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Jeb Bush, okay, all these people who say that all the Bushes, oh yeah, we support him at some point in time. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger pretending that he had endorsed or supported Donald Trump at some point in time. These are people who are all part of the globalist agenda. These are the people at the top, the Republicans who are no different from the Democrats. They marry the Democrats. They party with the Democrats. They call the Democrats their brothers, their cousins. They leak information on behalf of Hillary Clinton, as the Bushes did. They do this as George H.W. Bush did when Donald Trump is speaking. No, these people are all part of the same team. Paul Ryan is one of those too. Paul Ryan is now saying, I will not defend or campaign with Donald Trump. Good. We want to know who you are. And it's a shame that he won the primary. Hopefully he won't win re-election. Somebody needs to make sure that he won't. Of course, it's a very protected district that he has, or he will absolutely win the election. But Donald Trump came out and said, Paul Ryan should spend more time balancing the budget. In other words, do your job, Paul Ryan. You've given carte blanche to Obama. You passed that continuation bill. You completely funded the climate change treaty just a couple of days after it was passed. You had nothing to do with Obamacare. You have greased the skids for these transatlantic, trans-Pacific partnerships, which are nothing but corporate global governance. You've shut down the constitutional process for approving treaties. You should be doing your job, Paul Ryan. You are the person, more than anybody else, that's responsible for an outsider taking over the Republican Party because you wouldn't do your job. You continually deceived and lied to the GOP voters, saying you're going to do one thing and then governing as a Democrat. You're nothing but a rhino, Paul Rhino. This is one of the key issues, of course, of Paul Ryan, and that is the border issue. As Drudge reported today on the Drudge Report, we got an article from LifeZette. Border crisis. Illegal crossings may be far higher than the official number. Oh, you think so? Absolutely they are. Remember, the Border Patrol has endorsed Donald Trump. First time they've ever done that, is endorsing a presidential candidate. And now a new Department of Homeland Security study revises and lowers the estimated success rate in stopping illegal immigrants crossing the southern border. They had previously said, we think we're getting 81% of them. Now they say, we think we're only getting 54% of them. Hey, they have no idea how many people are coming across the border reliably. They do know how many people they are setting free, but they don't know how many people they failed to stop by definition. And this is the key thing that they have tried to keep you from seeing. This is why they didn't want you to see the Podesta emails. This is why the Bush family member who used to work for NBC, he's now been suspended by the Today Show. This is why he leaked this stuff and did it against his own network, NBC. That's why they suspended him. It was imperative for the Bushes to get out there and cover for the Clintons because they didn't want you to see this kind of stuff. Hillary Clinton, 3 years ago, saying to the Jewish United Fund of Metropolitan Chicago, these are the private transcripts and things that have been leaked out by WikiLeaks. They can't possibly, she told the people, Jordan was threatened by the immigrants, the refugees who were coming out of Syria. 3 years ago, she said this. She said, Jordan is threatened because they can't possibly vet all those refugees. So they don't know if, jihadists are coming in along with the legitimate refugees. But if you say that, if Donald Trump says that, if you say it, you're part of the basket of deplorables. You're a xenophobe. You're a racist. Okay? You don't like, you're Islamophobe. Because you're saying that we don't know who these people are that are coming in. We have no way to vet them. Hillary Clinton said that about Syria 3 years ago. Nothing has changed. You don't know who these people are that are coming in. There is absolutely no way that they can vet these people. And she lied to the American public again yesterday, saying we're not going to let anybody in that's a threat. You don't know if they're a threat. And now we have the German government coming in and saying, well, we let in 500,000 people and that said they were refugees, but we think we may have let in about 500 jihadis. They don't know. They just pulled out a convenient figure. They thought, well, maybe only about 0.1%, maybe 99.9% of them are legit, but maybe there's like 0.1% of them that aren't. And that works out to 500 jihadis. Think about what the tragedy that we've seen committed by just one of these people in one of these attacks. And they've got 500 that they've let in that they're estimating. And they have no idea how many people that they have let in. She went on to say she can't use the word Islamic terrorists. She doesn't want to talk about Islamic extremists. But again, in that same meeting in 2013, she said the Saudis, her campaign supporters, the people who bragged about the fact that they'd given her $25 million and then took that down after they got after it got noticed. She said the Saudis oppose the Muslim Brotherhood. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because, Huma Abedin, her mother was one of the founders of the Muslim Brotherhood. And, of course, Hillary has been to Saudi Arabia to the female madrasa addressing the students there of Huma Abedin's mother, where they, teach them to live with their faces covered under burqas, under religious oppression that they have in Saudi Arabia. The religious police, can you imagine? Religious police in America? That's going to happen. It'll happen once they get to a certain critical mass. We already see areas of America. There was a town in Pennsylvania, Allentown. They have now about 50% of the town itself is Hispanic, and they're going through and changing the signs to Spanish. And one of the people that was there who has a business, who is Hispanic himself, said, seriously? Is this the best you can do? You don't have any other issues that you can cover? But understand that when people come in sufficient numbers that they do not want to assimilate, they will change your culture, they will change your religion, they will change the system that we operate under. They will get rid of the First Amendment. They will do the types of things that Sharia Khan, the man that Hillary Clinton keeps putting up as a poster child for Donald Trump's intolerance, that man is pushing Sharia law, which is a repudiation of the First Amendment and everything that America has stood for. But Hillary Clinton says, well, the Saudis oppose the Muslim Brotherhood, which is kind of ironic, she said, since the Saudis have exported more extreme ideology than any other place on earth over the last 30 years. Yes, And Hillary, you helped them do that. And you helped to set the Middle East on fire, overthrowing Libya, overthrowing Syria. And now you want to set America on fire. You want to bring in the people that you have absolutely no way of vetting. And at the same time, we see in some of these other emails, she's talking about the fact that she wants to enact gun control by executive order. And it was interesting that she said, the Today Show has indicated that they definitely plan to ask about guns. See, here's the coordination going back and forth between the media and Hillary Clinton. So we're going to background reporters tonight on specific protocols that we're going to do. Universal background checks by executive order and manufacturer's liability in violation of the Second Amendment, in violation of the laws passed by Congress that said if all they did was manufacture guns, there is no liability involved in that.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries in the area of health. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. DNA Force is one of the most expensive formulas to produce. Some of the ingredients in DNA Force are $12,000 a kilogram. We are using the coveted, patented, only American source of PQQ, CoQ10, and more. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? Well, we're bringing you a total win-win. The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the Infowar. We have produced a limited run of DNA Force, and it will take up to 12 weeks to produce more once we sell out. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.